Airbus has delivered its H145 helicopter to Heligo Charters, which will be used by ONGC for patrolling and to ferry its employees from point A to point B. This will be the first time that an oil and gas company will be using the H145 helicopter. I have with me Sunny Guglani, who is the head of Airbus Helicopters in India and South Asia. Sunny, tell us more about the helicopter H145.
So first of all, just to remind your viewers, it's a great occasion. It's a historic occasion that this helicopter is being inducted for offshore energy exploration missions in India. The H145, as you can see, it's a twin-engine helicopter. There are more than 1,600 helicopters flying globally of this category. We have 12 such helicopters flying in India as well, across different segments. Offshore now, we're starting with it. We already have customers which are using it for onshore missions, for private aviation as well. So this is an 8-seat helicopter, 8-pax helicopter that ONGC is going to use. And I think in terms of safety, reliability and cost effectiveness, which is very important, and safety of course goes without saying it, it's a reference helicopter in its class.
Sunny, I must ask that earlier we didn't see such huge events being held for helicopter launch or when you're delivering a helicopter to your client. So is this like an effort to create more awareness about the potential helicopter industry has in India?
Yes, it's true that helicopters in India are not seen as a strategic tool, you know. They are seen only with a limited prism, I would say. Helicopters can be a tool for nation building, right? Now this helicopter will play its tiny role in helping ONGC and helping the country in meeting its energy needs, for example, okay? And you would have heard inside as well, you know, we spoke about other segments, helicopter ambulances, for example, firefighting, right? Disaster management, where helicopters can be used. And I think the first step to actually growing this part of the market is to create that awareness.
What is the helicopter market in India, the commercial helicopter market in India? What's the size and
Yes.
what is Airbus Helicopters' share in that?
Right. So you see, if you look at the civil and parapublic helicopter market in India, you would say it's between 250 to 270 helicopters. Okay. And we as Airbus Helicopters, we have the majority share of this market. There are more than 130 Airbus helicopters in India. But again, I mean, the important point here is that 270 helicopters on the civil and parapublic side in a country like India, it's very low, okay? So the idea here is how do we work with the different stakeholders to actually grow this overall pie, you know? How do we bring helicopters into different segments of the market? So that is what drives us.
Yeah, which brings me to the next question. Which other sectors do you see a huge potential in for the helicopter market?
Yes.
Of course, you have oil and gas, and is this going to be like your focus area?
So oil and gas has always been our focus area. It will, of course, we will continue to keep focusing on it. Commercial air transportation, right? So charter operations, it's another big market, and I think that there can be a lot more that can be done in this market. Over there, our H125 product is a reference helicopter. It's a single engine helicopter, H125. And beyond that, if you look at the new segments, heli ambulances, so we call it HEMS, Helicopter Emergency Medical Services.
Yeah.
That's a sector that we are really trying to work with the government and with the various stakeholders in the state governments as well to develop that and to create prototypes, localized prototypes that can actually show that the model works and how it works for heli ambulances. And once that takes off, I think we will see a revolution in the market.
Should urban mobility also be like a focus? What is your view on that?
So when I spoke about charter operators or charter helicopter operators, I included urban air mobility as part of that. In terms of helicopter operations connecting, you know, point A in a city to point B in a city, for example, airport to the city center, for example. Yes, that is definitely a use case. It is not being implemented right now, but I think that is something that if we manage to sort of get into this segment, it can be a huge growth opportunity as well.
So I think India is an underpenetrated market for helicopters.
Yes.
I mean, what can we compare India with? Which country can we compare India with?
India has some distance to go to basically make helicopters more accessible to the masses, right? And for us, the reference is, for example, Brazil or even New Zealand. You know, New Zealand has more helicopters than India has. Okay, and of course, in the long term, you look at other countries like in North America, or in Europe, Western Europe, where helicopters are being used for heli ambulances, law enforcement, disaster management, and that's where the volume comes in, right?
Yeah.
And that's where the utility to the people comes in. So we have to go down that path.
In India, how much road is left to cover if we have to bring
We're
helicopters?
starting. We're starting.
We're just starting.
And that's why we are so excited, because the way from here is only upwards.
Yeah.
The H125 final assembly line that we've announced in India is a part of that.
Yeah.
Yes, of course, we have tied up with Tata because we both see potential.
When can we see the first helicopter coming out of that facility?
So our plan is to roll out the first made in India H125s in 2026.
Okay.
So
All right.
it's going to be quite fast.
All right.